What's going on, guys? I hope you are doing well this morning. I just saw some interesting stuff via the charts, and I just wanted to express some of my opinions as to what's been going on. Regarding Ethereum, I have been keeping my eye on the NFT craze that is popping up here and there. Art Gobblers, for example, they minted out, and I think the floor price is like at 14 Ethereum. So a lot of people are getting into NFTs and they are seeing the value of them, whether it's just through art itself or even utility-based type of things. So there's a growing demand for Ethereum, even in these times. So yeah, what I'm currently seeing in regards to the charts, and the lines are pretty crazy because I'm zoomed in onto the hourly, but essentially we had a pivot swing right here at roughly 1180 zone here. And also we did have a pivot high here at 1663. What I am noticing in regards to my indicators here is that we do have definitive resistance at 1620 and 1577. We do have some bounce zones right here, but given that now that this is available, I'm going to make this solid just so you guys can differentiate a little bit better, probably make it a little bit thicker. Okay, there you go. So we are seeing this descending broadening wedge step into the situation. Now on the hourly, we do have some support lines that are lining up here. We don't necessarily have a definitive support as I had thought right around here, but we do have definitive support at a psychological level at 1300 essentially. So if, in my opinion, 1527 can't necessarily hold, then we're probably going to break through here, probably do some wick action and kind of come through. But at the end of the day, these descending broadening wedges are bullish in nature. You do see price kind of like, descend, but at some point there will be some stagnation and then a breakthrough of that downward sloping resistance line, which is this red line right here. Same thing with Bitcoin as well. This light blue line here, that's the volume weighted average price from the swing low, which is the macro swing low of this move. So right now we are above it. So if you are above this line, you are technically bullish. Okay, so right now we are seeing the bulls kind of reestablish themselves as the winners of the market as of late. Yeah, we do see some significant moves that happened, or that's currently happening at this time. These past couple of hours, as you can see this yellow line here, which is the Fibonacci extension level, price currently is getting rejected from it. So I want to keep my eyes on that. We did lose 1577 as support, and we did back test it, I believe, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours ago. Now, usually when that happens, we do see a tag, and then we get a tag from the top, and then a tag to the bottom. So that tag to the bottom has not happened yet. I'm not convinced necessarily that this is true support right here. This could be a dead cat bounce zone. Until I see this lower high trend break, I can't be bullish at this time. But I'll be honest with you, there could be a couple hours more to maybe double check 1577 or even create a lower high instance below 1573 here to then later move on here. But frankly, even prior to this pattern kind of showing itself, there was significant resistance that was broken at 1400.05, and usually when these things break and they're not back tested, usually you get a more extensive pump, which did happen, and eventually we'll come back down and kind of double tap it before we kind of see the next leg up. Overall, I'm liking what I'm seeing from a structural standpoint. We do have this line of support, this supply line that has shown itself. I'm going to make it a thick green line. So the price has eventually kind of come back to this zone here. So essentially, I wouldn't mind seeing price kind of bounce within this area for a little while until it tags the supply line. Now, I do see this thick upward green line as support. So once price does eventually tag this zone, and I'm gonna keep my eyes on the reaction. So if we see a couple hourly candle closes below this line, then I'm gonna expect a more significant downward sloping. I'm sorry, not downward sloping, a more significant downward move. That has not happened yet. We are probably days away from this line ever getting tagged. So we do have a lot of time to prepare for this, but that's my line in the sand right here. This, I'm going to just change it into a different color, this yellow line. This line right here is the line in the sand for me, and it's upward sloping. Now, as I said before, we are overextended significantly. We are roughly right here. So yeah, we are 16% away from this supply line. So we definitely are overextended to a high degree. So I would not be surprised to see within the coming days a pullback, a grind to stagnation, and then a break to the downside to then ultimately test these Fibonacci levels. I usually like the 0.382 and the 0.618. We have yet to even tag the 0.618 zone. Frankly, we could realistically bounce around the from a bullish perspective, right? This is like this is what the bulls would want to see. We go down to the 0.618 zone, which is here. It's kind of getting covered by the supply line, but it's roughly at 1,482. We could see a bounce and then a break of this area. So essentially we could see something like this, a break, retest, and then continuation. That's best case scenario. What I'm more so expecting, because I still think we are in the bear market and there's a lot of cynicism and price action and everything that's happening with the Federal Reserve, wanting to continue tapering. We'll see exactly what happens regarding that. But essentially, what I've seen in this bear market is that price will completely ignore the 618 and actually come all the way down to the 382 level. Now, the 382 level is below the supply line, so that's going to be intriguing to see. But ultimately, this box here and this thick horizontal green line, this was significant resistance for a long time. As you can see from, whoops, let me, there you go. As you can see right here and right here, it was acting as resistance, but now it is flipped and now acting as support. We have yet to see that back test of it as resistance again. So there is a lot of confluence right here at the 0.5, but I just don't like it. Personally, it's in my opinion, if price can sustain itself above the light blue line here, that would be huge. And it would align really with the 618. So after even just like talking through this myself, I do frankly feel that the 618 would be a interesting level to see a bounce and a more ideal position to see a bounce. If not, worst case scenario, I do see this supply line getting affected. So I have, this is not financial advice, but what I have done is I put in some limit orders around this level here at 1367, at 1400, and I believe it was 1450 roughly. So I put limit orders there just in case. Now no leverage, just limit orders, and yeah, I'm just letting them ride. Also, I closed out some of my long positions once I noticed that we were seeing we got that high, then we got a lower high, then we got another lower high. That's when I decided to close out my long position. And yeah, so it's just all about finding trends. Particularly in the 1 hour as of late, we are kind of seeing some more intraday stuff kind of roll out. As you can see, even on the 4 hour, On the 4 hour, we are seeing significant support here, 1,447, which is near my limit order of 1,450. So I do feel kind of confident there, but as you can see on the 4 hour, we do see at basically 1,355 as acting as support as well, which also kind of aligns with this previous um, resistance zone. So realistically, there could be like a wick to the bottom down here. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, just thought that that was interesting stuff for you all. We are flipping bearish. I truly feel that that bull, that nice little pump to the upside was awesome. It was great. It was a real nice sigh of relief, frankly. Pretty much a 30% pump. So I mean, if you guys got some profits, congratulations. If you did not, so sorry. But yeah, I do feel like we are going to see some sideways and down for a little while until we do see a resolution here. I would really hope this supply line to sustain itself, because that would really hold up long-standing support. And if this particular Fibonacci sequence sustains itself, we are looking at the 1618 to eventually get tagged, which is at 1973 for Ethereum. Now, if it gets overextended, which I sincerely doubt, because this zone here at 2000 is acting as resistance still, but if that breaks, then we will definitely see 2,462 roughly. A little bit more, a little bit less, most likely a little bit less. But frankly, going back to we cannot counter chickens before they hatch. We must see this descending broadening wedge really play itself out. I mean, and keep in mind, these things could extend for a long, long time, okay? So I really do hope that it is kind of just a refresher until we see a next pivot high. Because we are seeing points of we got a low, got a higher low, and I think we're going to be in good standing as long as we maintain a higher low. So I'm not feeling too doom and gloom at this point. I do feel like we've actually hit peak, well, not peak, the valley low. I do feel like we hit the lowest of the low within this bull market. I think over time we will be pumping to the upside. We might eventually tag the bottom once again here, this bottom area, but not for another couple of months, in my opinion, due to the structure of what I'm seeing here on the chart. But to really get back into the swing of things of current price action, um, yeah, I do feel strongly about this descending broadening wedge. I'm going to keep my eye on the reaction specifically at the 1400 zone area. Will price break below it, or will it see support? This area to me is of utmost importance, because if we see stuff like this and then it breaks to the upside, phenomenal. But if it's does something like this where it's just hanging, dragging ass and then it just breaks down, then I'm gonna make a move to short or long this position. But at the end of the day, yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to give you all guys today. So I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch all this information here. If you think it's fruitful, yeah, please like and subscribe if you have not, and let me know what you think. Do you really think that this descending broadening wedge is valid, or we're just going to end up pumping from here or dumping from here? I would appreciate your perspective. Take care. Have a great one. Bye bye.